The hard bigotry of high expectations.
Mr. Pagan.
All right, you conservative bitches. Mr. Pagan here, the only honest leftist. And today, I'm going to explain white privilege because you idiots clearly don't get it. So the other day, I was rewatching an amazing Joe Biden speech, and I was reminded about how black people are incapable of using the internet.
Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online.
I mean, how awful is that? Black people don't know how to use the internet. So sad. My white privilege gives me the ability to use the internet. But my black neighbor will never have that ability because he's black. And that got me thinking about white privilege. I mean, why is being white such a privilege? Well, it's because white people are just way too awesome. It's actually really offensive. I mean, not everyone has the privilege of knowing they're part of an awesome race like we white people. Think about it. Black people, what have they invented? Nothing. They haven't invented anything. Not a single thing. Imagine being a black person and knowing that. That must feel just awful. I used to think that black people invented peanut butter, but I looked it up. Turns out that's not true. They didn't even invent peanut butter. How humiliating. And this is all the fault of white people. I mean, how can we expect black people to invent anything when we white people keep selfishly inventing things first? I mean, white people invented, like, everything. What a bunch of show-offs. How do you think that makes black people feel? Huh? They look at white people and they just see success, success, success everywhere. And they look at their own people and it's just failure. Total and complete failure. I mean, besides Beyonce and Oprah and Will Smith and Clarence Thomas and Kanye and Damon John and Ben Carson and Dr. Dre, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Thomas Sowell, Barack Obama, and maybe a few thousand other people, I guess. But other than that, total failure. Well, of course black people hate us. Failure, success. Failure, success. Resentment and hatred is natural. When a black person sees a white person, you know what they see? They see the inventor of the airplane. Black people now have the ability to travel anywhere in the world in a matter of just a few hours and in opulent luxury, all because some white person invented the airplane. Not to mention the jet engine. And how do you think they feel about that? Sipping their champagne 35,000 feet above the earth, flying to some beautiful tropical destination, knowing the entire time that white people made all of this possible. Even the champagne that they're sipping on was invented by white people. It's like a kick in the teeth. We're just shoving our accomplishments in their faces every second of every day. And then when their plane lands in this tropical destination, they'll probably rent a car also oppressively invented by a white man. They're forced to enjoy an insufferably smooth ride, probably on an air suspension system, insufferable because it was invented, that's right, by white people. When they get to their hotel, they'll probably be forced to endure an absurdly comfortable atmosphere because of air conditioning. Another oppressive white invention, thank you very much. Air conditioning, by the way, was developed by this guy, William Haviland Carrier. Can you imagine a whiter person? The whiteness is practically radiating off this guy. It's sickening. And anything that a black person might want to do on their vacation, if they go on a motorboat, if they go scuba diving, if they go snorkeling, if they sit by the beach in a beach chair, if they watch TV or a movie, if they play badminton, volleyball, tennis, or basketball, well, they're enjoying inventions forced upon them by white people. How utterly infuriating. And then, when they go to dinner, they'll likely enjoy delicious French cuisine. Disgusting. How can black people ever be expected to tolerate us white people if we keep being so awesome? Being awesome is divisive. By being so awesome, we are perpetuating the psychological oppression of less inventive peoples of color. And so I think it only makes sense that black people boycott air conditioning. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Black people need to boycott air conditioning, airplanes, computers, cars, TV, movies, electricity, the wheel. Just don't use any of that stuff anymore. I mean, how could you? Oppressive white people invented all of that, clearly to make black people feel bad about themselves. Those monsters. I mean, I have to use that stuff. I mean, you know, because I make these YouTube videos and I have to travel all the time and I need to look good on video, and so I need the air conditioning and all that stuff. But otherwise, I would be boycotting all of that too. Definitely. And white people, yes, I'm talking to you now, white people. Before you do some other awesome stuff, stop. Just stop. Think about it. Maybe, before you act, consider how it'll make other people feel. Stop showing off. Stop showing off how smart you are, how talented, how precise, how educated, because not all races are capable of stuff like that, okay? So next time you make something, just slap it together all sloppy, like a black person. All right, well, that's it for me. And remember, it's more important to be morally right than to be factually correct. Namaste, fam. The famous Mr. Pagan. Glasses. And just like that, I'm transformed. So the other day, I was rewatching an amazing Joe Biden speech, and I was reminded about how black people are incapable of using the internet. Oh, Joe Biden, you idiot. All right. Whew, I can do this. My white privilege gives me the ability to use the internet. Oh man, this is going to be tough to get through. But my black neighbor will never have that ability because he's black. Oh, that's too funny. All right.
You know, there's during World War II, where Roosevelt came up with a thing that was totally different than he called it the World War II. He had the War Production Board. Everybody knows I like kids better than people.